everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be doing a DIY tips and tricks on making a curly hair wig. These are just some of the things I do. Again, I'm not a professional. These are just my tips and tricks that I decided to share with you all. Please, before you get into this video, thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe, and also share with some of your friends you think will like this video. Just wanted to jump in here real quick to say that I know the wig cap kind of looks a little off-centered on the head, and that's because this is an off to the side part, so that's why it looks a bit off-centered. If you were just wondering, it's an off to the side part that I'm gonna be doing. Okay, so let's get into this wig making. First things first, there I'm just outlining where I'm going to be laying the first track. It's right there on the bottom underneath those hooks that gather the wig together. I do thread through the weft one time just to get it started. So there I'm going to start at the bottom, taking it through the net and pulling it through, and doing that just holds it in place, make sure it's going where I want it to go. I have measured out this piece so I know how long it needs to be. Also, I just want to make note that when sewing your weave, you do want to go underneath the weft. Going through the weft can cause a lot of shedding. And also here when I'm sewing, I wrap the thread around the needle twice. That's just what I do to secure the thread in place so that I know that it is locked in. You can go 2, 3 times, whatever you feel comfortable doing or you feel is going to hold the wig in place. And this thread to me is kind of thick. It's kind of thick to me, so I am having some issues with it. It's important to take your time. Making a wig does take a while to get it right. So, like I said, I'm not a professional. This is just what I do, and it's what works for me. So here I am continuing to show the track. I will show you again. That's just me wrapping the thread around 2 times and pulling it through just to secure the weft in place. I'm going to keep going on with that, and you will see me go to the end. I am going to knot it the same way. That is how I knot my thread at the end. I wrap it around about a good 2 to 3 times and then cut it and make sure it looks nice in place. Okay, here I am moving on to my second track, and when it comes to measuring, make sure that you take your time. Again, my wig cap is a little off center because I am doing an off to the side part. So when it comes to measuring, I have to make sure that the sides, they're not going to be exactly even due to where I have the part at. So I just got to make sure that it looks right. So here I'm just taking my time measuring on both sides and just seeing where I want this track to be. This is just going to be a repeat of the first part when I laid the first track, just to show you one more time. So you can go ahead and watch that or skip past it if you think you got the hang of it, and then we'll move on to the front closure. So I did want to come on to say that I do use pins to hold my wig cap down. Some people do, some people don't. When it comes down to sewing this track, I do find it easier to hold the wig cap down, and so it's just easier for me to do. As you can see, when I'm going underneath the weft, I am bringing the thread around twice. That's just what I do to secure the weft in place. Also, because this wig cap does have drawstrings, like I said, the first track I laid underneath it, and this track I'm laying on top, not directly on top of the drawstring, but above it is really the word, above it. So that way, if this needs to be pulled tighter, it can be without disrupting the wig as well. So again, this is just a repeat of what I've been doing on the first track. This is just a better view, longer view if you need to see it again. If you don't, feel free to go ahead and skip forward. Now on to the front, and I know the wig isn't finished, but I just want to come on and show you the front. So what I did on the other side is first, that's the lace that I'm pointing out there, and what I did was lay the tracks like I'm doing the invisible part. I outlined where I wanted the part to be with some concealer. It also helps when you put the wig on to already match your skin tone. I did use bonding glue, hair bonding glue, to do this, so I'm just going to show you one of what I've been doing. Again, this is a mini video, just tips and tricks. It's not a full tutorial. If you do want a full tutorial, let me know in the comments. So what I'm doing is taking the hair and I measure it. That's the hair there. It's a closer view, 1B27. So what I'm doing here is measuring it. I'm going to measure it from that line to the weft that's sewed around the closure, and you're going to lay a little piece on top of that weft that's sewed onto the closure just to cover that up. So there I measured it, and then I'm going to cut out that piece. Make sure you try to get it as exactly measured as possible, the exact measurement. So once it's measured out, I just lay it again just to make sure that's the piece that I want. And you can always go ahead and remeasure however many times you need to, just when it's comfortable for you, or just making sure that that's the piece that I need. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my bonding glue. You take some of that glue. Be careful with this glue because it's black, it's messy, and if you have lighter colored hair, it can get on that hair and then it's not going to look right. It's going to be very hard to get it out of, say, if you're doing all blonde hair, it's going to be really hard to get it out. So there is the glue on. You don't need a whole lot. Make sure you put it down quickly because it does dry fast, and you want it to dry onto the lace, and because if you don't, then you have to reapply the glue and relay it down. So I'm just holding it down. You do need to hold it down. And I am also going to be using my favorite freeze spray in the world, and I am going to show you that in just a minute. just holding it down. I do not want that track to fall, so I'll hold mine down for a good minute. Yes, got to be glued. I swear I use this in almost every video or every style that I do. Got to be glued freeze spray. It is the best when it comes to hold. I love it so much. You can get it at your local beauty supply store. Any of the Got to be glued products. The freeze spray just happens to be my favorite, so I use it to help keep that track in place. And there you see that it's dried. Just trying to get you guys a closer view of it. So I am going to continue to do that onto the other side. Same thing, measure, put on the glue, lay it down, and I'll come back when I'm going to do the middle part. Okay, and on to the middle part. So what I am doing is I cut some of the hair off the weft. That is a nitpicker you can get at Michael's, you can get it at Joann Fabrics. And what I'm going to do is take that nitpicker, it's like a mini crochet hook, and I am going to put it there like you're crocheting basically. The holes are just very tiny, so take your time. It is a tedious process. You push it through, and you're going to want to see that loose hair, how I have it wrapped around my finger. That's to help keep it together. Trying to give you guys a closer view of it. It is hard to see, so I am sorry about that. But you take that hair there and you want to grab a couple pieces. Do not grab a whole bunch because it's not going to come out right. And if you know how to crochet, then you know how to do this. You put it through the hole, and then you grab the hair, you bring it back through, and then you bring the hair through the hole again. Like I said, I'm sorry you can't get a better view of this. I will do a video that is strictly about the closures to help you guys see it a little better, but I'm going to continue to do that. I'll show you about one more time. I'm going to continue to do that for this closure, and I will show you some of the knots once I'm finished. So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully these tips and tricks will help you when it comes to making your wig. Please stay tuned for the next video coming up next. If there's anything you want to see, or if you have any comments for me, leave them below. Any questions, leave them below, and I will do my best to get back to you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with any of your friends who also love hair.